Welcome back to the deep dive. And look, before we even get started today, I need you to do something for me right now.
Yeah, please do. It's important for this one.
Look at your screen, hit that like button, and just smash subscribe. Seriously. We are diving into some incredibly heavy, uncensored material today. Stuff that, most algorithms try to bury.
They absolutely do.
So if you want us to keep bringing you these kinds of unfiltered breakdowns, we really do need your support. So lock that in.
Done. Good. Because today, we are not just reviewing a book, we are looking at what the author calls a triage manual for the modern man.
Triage is such a good word for it.
And honestly, it feels like the right word, given the state of things.
It really does. Okay, so we are diving deep into an ebook titled Picking a Wife: How to Recognize Quality, Degeneracy, Reject Crazier Ones, and Training Her Not to Be Too BPD by a guy named Conrad Riker.
And just from that title alone, this is not your standard politically correct how to find your soulmate guide.
Not at all, far from it. This book is written for a very specific man.
I mean, if you've ever felt like a walking ATM with a heartbeat, or if you're just tired of the mainstream blue pill narrative,
One that tells you to just communicate more.
while you're getting completely steamrolled in your own relationship, yeah. This book is explicitly for you. Riker isn't interested in making you feel good. He's interested in keeping you alive.
He frames this as a survival guide. He's arguing that the modern dating scene isn't just difficult, it is a battlefield.
Absolutely. And if you don't have the right intel, you are going to become a casualty.
And just so you know, right up front, if you want the full unfiltered diagnosis, because we can only cover so much in this dive, this ebook is available right now on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books.
It's an ultra-long, incisive look at not just dating, but the whole history of our institutions. Riker's central thesis is that everything from marriage to the corporate boardroom has been, in his words, captured.
Captured by feminist and Marxist ideologies, specifically designed to disadvantage men.
And he traces this back, way before the current culture war, arguing that the system was rigged long before you ever went on your first date.
So let's unpack that, because the author starts with a really bold claim in chapter 1 about the red pill. He says it's not a theory or a philosophy.
He calls it a diagnosis.
A diagnosis.
Right. He's saying that if you think the red pill is just some internet subculture or, a bunch of angry guys on forums, you're missing the point.
You're missing the utility of it.
Exactly. He argues it's a forensic analysis of a sick society. It's like looking at an X-ray of a broken bone. You might not like what you see, but ignoring it doesn't heal the leg.
And to explain how modern women operate within this sick society, he uses this really powerful analogy.
Oh, the Wi-Fi signal.
The Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah.
I thought this was brilliant. It's also pretty terrifying when you break it down. He says a woman is like a radar.
A radar or a Wi-Fi signal, just constantly scanning for a stronger connection.
Constantly. The argument is that she is biologically wired, evolutionarily programmed to scan for better status, better genes, better protection.
And he's clear. He doesn't see it as malicious. It's just survival. But here is the kicker that Riker really emphasizes. Marriage doesn't turn off the scan.
That's the part that keeps guys up at night. He says marriage just puts a password on the Wi-Fi.
But the hardware is still running, still looking for that stronger signal.
And this leads right into the concept of hypergamy.
We hear this word a lot in these circles, but Riker defines it very specifically. He describes it as the invisible force destroying modern men because they refuse to acknowledge it.
His argument is that female loyalty isn't emotional in the way men think of it. Like loyalty from a dog or a brother in arms.
Right. He says female loyalty is economic. It's a calculation.
And he introduces this idea of the auditor. I think every guy listening has felt this, even if they couldn't put a name to it.
Oh, for sure. You're at a party and your wife or girlfriend is laughing just a little too hard at some other guy's joke.
And Riker says she's not just flirting, she is auditing him.
She's comparing his portfolio against yours. And we're not just talking about money here.
No, not at all. She's auditing his status, his confidence, his physical fitness, his frame. She's checking if he's a better asset manager for her biological imperative.
And if his signal is stronger than yours, her Wi-Fi starts trying to connect.
And speaking of biology, we have to talk about the cliff metaphor. This was vivid.
It's a crucial part of his diagnosis.
Yeah.
He says dating a modern woman is like standing on the edge of a cliff, and that cliff is her menstrual cycle.
Meaning you aren't dating one consistent person.
You're dating a biological cycle. During ovulation, estrogen dominates. She becomes a status-seeking missile. She wants the bad boy, the dominant genes, the high-risk, high-reward partner.
But then in the luteal phase, progesterone takes over, and suddenly she wants comfort, provision. The nice guy.
So you're constantly dealing with this shifting target. One week she wants a leader, the next she wants a servant.
And if you don't understand that rhythm, Riker says you're going to get pushed off the cliff. You'll try to provide comfort when she wants dominance, or dominance when she wants comfort, and you'll just lose every time.
And that biological volatility is exactly what Riker claims has been weaponized by our institutions. Which brings us to the second major part of this deep dive.
The capture of institutions. This is where he explains how the game was rigged against you.
Yeah, this is where the book zooms way out. He argues that feminism isn't about equality. He calls it a meta shit test.
A meta shit test inflated to the scale of society.
Okay, so a shit test in the dating context is when a woman probes a man to see if he's strong enough to lead.
Right.
Riker argues that society is now doing this collectively to men. Every gender equality policy, every HR mandate, it's a test to see if men will submit.
And the scary part, he says we are failing the test.
He gives this brutal example from the corporate world, the story of Tracy in HR.
It's anecdotal, sure, but man, it feels so representative of the corporate landscape Riker is describing.
Totally. This anecdote illustrates what Riker calls weaponized victimhood. So, Tracy starts in HR, gets promoted to director of operations in 18 months, despite having zero logistics experience.
Of course. And she misses a deadline, costs the company a bunch of money, and a competent male veteran calls her out on it.
And what happens? Does she own the mistake? Does she promise to do better?
Nope. She files a complaint for emotional distress because he intimidated her with facts.
Exactly. And the company, terrified of the PR and the legal side of things, fires the competent man and gives her a raise.
It's sabotage.
That's his point. Competence gets punished, and feelings become the ultimate currency. He argues this is the result of Marxist infiltration replacing competence hierarchies with oppression hierarchies.
It's terrifying because it feels so real, and it's not just the office. He goes hard on the legal system, especially family court.
He calls family court an extortion racket. He cites stats that custody defaults to mothers over 70% of the time.
But even darker is the double standard he points out on safety.
Yet men get arrested for parental alienation if they question the mother's narrative. But mothers face almost zero consequences for withholding children from their fathers.
He links this all back to cultural Marxism. The narrative is set. Men are the oppressors, so they are guilty by default. Women are infantilized.
That's a key term he uses. External locus of control. He argues that modern society teaches women that nothing is ever their fault.
If they are unhappy, it's the patriarchy. If they fail, it's the system.
They are never asked to look in the mirror, while men are told everything, even things way out of their control, is their burden to bear.
Okay, so we have the diagnosis, we see the battlefield. Now let's talk about the mechanics. How does this control actually work in a one-on-one relationship?
This is where he gets into shit tests and frame.
Yeah.
He uses the lioness and gazelle analogy.
Right.
He says a woman probing for weakness isn't doing it because she's evil. She's doing it because biology demands she find a leader who doesn't break. A lioness doesn't chase the strongest gazelle. She targets the one that hesitates.
So when she's picking a fight about the dishes or your tone of voice, she's actually looking for a hesitation, a crack in your armor.
Precisely. And the paradox Riker describes is fascinating. She wants to be controlled, but she never wants to feel controlled.
What does that even mean?
It means she needs to know you can stop her, but she will fight you the whole time you're doing it to make sure you're actually strong enough.
He gives some great real-world examples of this. The burnt dinner scenario is a classic one.
Yes, she burns dinner, has a total meltdown, crying, acting like the world is ending. The blue pill response is to rush in, apologize, try to fix her feelings.
And Riker says that's a fail. You validated the chaos. You've shown her that her emotional instability controls your state of mind.
The correct move is to set a boundary. Dinner is replaceable, calm down. You don't engage the emotion, you engage the reality.
But my favorite example, the ultimate example of holding frame, has to be the Marine story.
Oh, this one was legendary.
So a Marine is in the field, no comms for 12 hours. He finally gets back, and his girlfriend has blown up his phone, panic, screaming at him over text.
I thought you were dead. How could you do this to me?
And most guys would just apologize, right? Baby, I'm so sorry I couldn't call. Please forgive me.
Exactly. That's submission.
Yeah.
But this Marine, he just texts back, then you'd have my life insurance. Good thing I'm not.
Boom. That is holding free.
He didn't defend. He didn't explain. He didn't apologize for doing his duty. And the result? She respected him. Riker's argument is that if he had apologized, she would have lost respect for him.
Because he would have submitted to her anxiety. He showed her his mission comes first, and that, paradoxically, makes her feel safer.
But the cost of failing these tests, it's high. He tells the story of Kyle.
The silent bidding war. Kyle is the nice guy, the provider. He buys a $10,000 engagement ring.
He proposes, and she looks at it and says, I deserve more, then dumps him.
That is just brutal.
Riker uses Kyle to illustrate that you are always in a silent auction. If you think buying her things or being nice secures her loyalty, you're just wrong. Kyle was a placeholder until a higher bidder came along.
And if you think that's dark, we need to get into the stats. Section 4 of this book is where Riker really pulls the curtain back on some things that, well, that mainstream media will not touch.
No, they won't.
Yeah.
He tackles the cuckoldry equation. Now, mainstream stats usually say non-paternity events where the kid isn't. The fathers are what, like 1% to 3%?
Something like that, yeah. But Riker says that's a complete lie.
He claims that forensic DNA testing in family courts, where paternity is actually being contested, shows rates between 10 and 30% in urban areas.
10 to 30%, that's insane.
And he argues this comes from the dual mating strategy.
Which goes back to the biology we were talking about earlier.
Correct. She seeks provision from the nice, stable husband, but she seeks the genes from the high testosterone dominant partner. And in a world without consequences, Riker argues, many men are unknowingly raising another man's genetic legacy.
And speaking of consequences, Chapter 10, the abortion industry. He doesn't frame this as a religious argument at all.
No, he frames it as a power move. It's about leverage. He argues that for modern women, abortion is the ultimate trump card. It lets them decide unilaterally if a man becomes a father or not.
Riker points out the biological reality, that zygote is half his body. It's his mitochondria. Yet he has zero say.
It's the ultimate veto power. She decides if you leave a legacy or if you get erased.
And being erased is a theme here. He connects all of this, the family courts, the alienation, the financial ruin, directly to the suicide stats.
Male suicide is 3.5 to 4 times higher than female suicide. 93% of the homeless population is male.
Riker attributes this directly to men being abandoned and just erased by the very system they built.
It's a heavy, heavy diagnosis. But the book isn't just about doom and gloom. It is a survival manual.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the solution. Section 5, sovereignty and training.
Riker is very provocative here. He uses the horse analogy in Chapter 14.
And I can hear people gasping already, but it's important to understand what he means.
Yeah, lay it out.
He compares setting boundaries with a woman to training a horse. Now, he is very clear. This is not about cruelty. You don't beat a horse. You use consistency and consequences.
A horse bucks because it hasn't learned control.
Right. And Riker argues a woman throws tantrums because she hasn't encountered a man strong enough to set a limit. It's about being a steady hand.
And the strongest move a man has, according to Riker,
is the ability to walk away. Indifference signals value. If you're terrified of losing her, she knows she owns you. If you are indifferent, if you are willing to walk, she respects you.
He also has this great line about the structure of a relationship. Marriage is not a democracy, it's a monarchy.
Which is the opposite of everything we're told today.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life, everything's in negotiation. Riker says no.
Feelings are just weather. They change every 10 minutes. Marriage is architecture.
It needs to be solid. The man has to be the point man.
Like a Navy SEAL team leader, he doesn't ask for a vote on which door to breach.
He makes the call. Not because he's a tyrant, but because someone has to prevent anarchy. If everyone is steering the ship, you hit the rocks.
So how do you find a woman who accepts this? How do you reject the crazier ones, like the title says? He gives some specific vetting tests.
The waitstaff test is a classic but vital. If she is rude to a waiter, run.
Riker says that is her true nature leaking out. It shows how she treats people she deems beneath her. Eventually, that will be you.
Then there's the no test.
Simple. Say no to a small request. No, we can't go there for dinner. No, I'm not buying that. And then just watch.
Does she negotiate? Or does she have a meltdown? If she melts down over a small no, imagine what happens when life gets actually hard.
And finally, the daddy issue warning. He says this is a huge red flag.
He argues that women with absent fathers aren't looking for security. They are looking to recreate the trauma of abandonment.
They seek punishment.
And you cannot fix this. You are not her therapist. If you try to save her, she will drown you.
That is some powerful, actionable advice. And look, we have barely scratched the surface of what's in this book.
Oh, absolutely. He goes into so much more detail on the legal traps, financial strategies, the specific psychological games you need to watch for. It really is a comprehensive diagnosis.
And the final thought Riker leaves you with is this concept of the sovereign.
I love this concept. The goal isn't just to get the girl. The goal is to save civilization.
It's about legacy.
Right. Riker argues that a man must stop apologizing for existing. He needs to become the authority in his own life. You are building a legacy. You are saving your bloodline.
That's the mission. And if you want to join that mission, if you want the daily breakdowns and the unfiltered takes, you need to follow the author. Go to Substack, go to Twitter, go to YouTube, and follow @Conrad Riker. He is putting out the kind of content that you are just not going to find anywhere else.
And again, the full diagnosis, the complete red pill diagnosis, is in the ebook, Picking a Wife. It's on Amazon Kindle and Google Play Books.
For the price of a coffee, you might just save yourself half your net worth and a lifetime of regret.
Truly.
Seriously, go get the book. And before you sign off, do us one last favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the podcast. We want to keep bringing you these deep dives, and your support is what makes that happen.
It means everything.
Stay sovereign, gentlemen. We'll see you on the next one.